Welcome back. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received at Sakhir Palace His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa in the presence of the personal representative of His Majesty the King, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Minister of the Royal Court, Sheikh Khalid bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, and the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa. During the meeting, a number of topics on the local level were discussed, including enhancing the comprehensive development march and the civilizational renaissance witnessed by Bahrain in all fields. His Majesty praised the role of His Royal Highness in serving the country and instilling pioneership and international competitiveness in all levels, as well as His Royal Highness's efforts to develop institutional work and government bodies, enhance vital sectors, and adopting initiatives and strategies to keep up with the continuous development in order to make further accomplishments for the kingdom and its people. His Majesty praised the contributions of the people of Bahrain in enhancing the country's achievements that make Bahrain continues to assume pioneering positions in international authorities and organizations, which reflects the kingdom's capabilities and efforts to further enhance its status. His Majesty and His Royal Highness also praised the deep-rooted historic relations between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia based on the keenness of His Majesty the King and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. They affirmed the importance of continuing to enhance the bilateral cooperation and joint coordination in all fields and supporting programs that benefit the commerce and industry sectors through agreements and initiatives between the two countries based on the goals of the Saudi-Bahrain Coordination Council, chaired by His Royal Highness and His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Regarding the developments faced by the region, especially the situation in Gaza, His Majesty affirmed the need for an extensive diplomatic effort between all regional and international bodies to achieve peace and establish an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. His Majesty stressed the need to reduce tensions in the Middle East and avoid military escalation, and the need to enhance Arab international cooperation to find peaceful, just, comprehensive and sustainable solutions for the conflicts in the region. His Majesty renewed his call for expediting the holding of the International Peace Conference to support Palestinians' legitimate rights and establish their own independent state, highlighting the kingdom's readiness to host this important conference. The Minister of Justice, Islamic Affairs and Waqf and Chairman of the Supreme Committee for the Integrity of the Election, General Supervision of the Representatives Council, Nawaf al-Mauda, issued Decision 66 of the year 2024 to form and determine the headquarters of the subcommittee for voting and counting to elect a member of the Representatives Council in the vacant constituencies. According to the decision, a subcommittee for polling and counting will be formed to elect a member in the first electoral district in Muharraq Governorate, and its headquarters will be determined. If the President or one of the members is absent, they will be replaced by one of the presidents or one of the members. The Minister of Justice, Islamic Affairs and Waqf and Chairman of the Supreme Committee for the General Supervision of the Integrity of the Election of the Representatives Council, Nawaf al-Mauda, issued Decision 67 of the year 2024 to form and determine the headquarters of the General Committees for polling and sorting for electing a member of the Representatives Council in the vacant constituency in Muharraq Governorate. According to the decision, if one of the chairpersons or one of the members is absent, one of the chairpersons or one of the reserved members will take their place. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce announced that registration is now open for Saudi establishments wishing to participate in the local value program in industry takamul. In this regard, the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Abdullah Fakhra, affirmed the depth of brotherly ties between the two kingdoms, which witnessed development thanks to the support of His Majesty the King and the custodian of the two holy mosques. He noted that this positive development stems from the outcomes of the third meeting of the Saudi Bahraini Coordination Council, chaired by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister and His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister, especially in achieving the principle of reciprocity for products manufactured in the two countries. The minister noted the importance of the initiative in strengthening strategic partnerships and cooperation between the two countries. The Minister of Industry and Mineral Resources and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Saudi Local Content and Government Procurement Authority, Bandar bin Ibrahim Al Khrif, expressed his thanks and appreciation to the Ministry of Industry and Commerce in the Kingdom of Bahrain for its cooperation in the fields of stimulating and empowering national industries and enhancing aspects of economic integration between the two countries. The Saudi minister stressed that goods manufactured in Bahrain that meet national rules of origin are treated the same as Saudi national goods, which allows them to benefit from mechanisms for preferring local content in addition to regulations and requirements. He affirmed that this step will contribute to enhancing trade exchange, stimulating national industry, creating more investment opportunities, and enhancing the added value of national products. The Saudi minister praised the efforts made by the ministry in Bahrain to enhance cooperation between the two countries in various fields. He stressed his country's keenness to strengthen cooperation with Bahrain in all fields to achieve development and prosperity for the two countries. And to speak more about that, we are joined over the phone by the Assistant Undersecretary for Industry Development at the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Dr. Khalid Fahad Al-Alawi. Hello and welcome, Dr. Khalid. Can you tell us the importance of this initiative in enhancing the economic relations between the two kingdoms?
Hello and good evening. This step acts as an activation of the outcomes of the third meeting of the Saudi Bahraini Coordination Council, chaired by His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain, and His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, especially in the field of achieving the principle of reciprocal treatment for products manufactured in both countries. This announcement embodies the depth of Bahraini-Saudi relations at all levels, which will allow for a broader economic cooperation and industrial integration. Through this agreement on local content and government procurement, we aim to enhance the competitiveness of the industrial sector in both countries and increase its efficiency and productivity. As you mentioned, Bahraini products will be able to take part in Saudi government procurement once they meet the Saudi rules of origin, while Saudi products will be able to benefit from the local content preference mechanisms in Bahrain's government future tenders once they meet the requirements of our in-country value program, Takamul, in line with the pillars of Bahrain's industrial sector strategy 2022-2026.
That's great to hear. Can you tell us a little bit about the mechanism for the Takamul program?
Absolutely. Saudi establishments wishing to take part in future government procurements in Bahrain can simply apply to the Takamul program by visiting the Ministry of Industry and Commerce's website and submitting all documents as well as audited local content reports through accredited auditing firms to issue the in-country value certificate and benefit from a 10% preference, while Bahraini establishments that meet the Saudi national rules of origin can apply directly for government tenders in Saudi Arabia and benefit from the local content preference mechanism, considering Bahraini products as Saudi national products and considering Saudi products as Bahraini national products.
Looking forward to that. Assistant Undersecretary for Industry Development at the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Dr. Khalid Fahad Al-Alawi, thank you for joining us.
On August 13, 2023, the Local Value Programme in Industry Takamul was launched as part of the Economic Recovery Plan to achieve inclusive economic development and part of the initiatives of the Industry Sector Strategy 2022 to 2026. The program seeks to achieve a number of objectives, most notably enhancing local content and increasing the efficiency of the value-added chain, directing industrial sector expenditures to the local market, enhancing the competitiveness of national industrial enterprises, encouraging national companies and enhancing their contribution to the national economy, and strategically localizing supply chains and developing new local industries and services, as well as stimulating and attracting foreign investments. It was announced that registration was open for Saudi enterprises wishing to register their products in the program, and in light of that, Bahraini products are treated as Saudi products in terms of local content and government procurement. The program grants companies that achieve 75% of local value added with a certificate that qualifies them to obtain a 10% preference in future government tenders in the Kingdom of Bahrain.
The CEO of the Labour Market Regulatory Authority and Chairman of the National Committee to Combat Trafficking in Persons, Nibras Talib, chaired the committee's regular meeting. He affirmed Bahrain's keenness to continue efforts aimed at improving the labour environment and maintaining stable contractual relations between parties, which includes intensifying efforts to raise awareness of illegal practices in the labour market, especially those that may fall under trafficking in persons. He said that Bahrain's tireless efforts and initiatives to enhance the labour environment have earned the kingdom growing international trust. He added that maintaining the kingdom's status requires diligent work to preserve the gains. The CEO reviewed the efforts made by touching on a number of initiatives that are being implemented in the coming period in cooperation and coordination between the LMRA and a number of government agencies, which will contribute to providing protection for labour parties and reducing litigation and illegal practices. The Housing and Urban Planning Ministry announced the launch of a program to update the income data of citizens whose applications are with the ministry during the period from August 4th until October 31st, 2024. The ministry noted that updating the income data or date is done electronically through the national portal Bahrain.ph by attaching documents proving the income of the housing applicants without the need to visit a customer service center at the ministry's headquarters. The ministry called on citizens with existing housing applications to perform the mandatory update of the housing application by attaching proof of the applicant's income within the specified time frame, extending until the end of next October to ensure the continuation of the housing application. Telephone calls in the Kingdom of Bahrain during the first quarter of this year witnessed a decrease of 11% compared to the same period in 2024. The reason for this decrease is the increase in data usage, as the volume of data used during the first quarter of this year increased by 10% compared to the first quarter of last year. Youth 2030 City offers many specialized and development programs to enhance the participants' leadership skills through the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship. The center helps participants to acquire new skills and prepares them to face all challenges to become the first choice in the labor market. Trainers also play a major role in enhancing the leadership skills of the participants.